Kevin here with another Flip and Dork Flips and Finds video where I show you different items I pick up thrifting and garage selling, and then I sell online, either locally on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, or even on eBay for a bigger worldwide audience for smaller things I want to ship out. So anyway, this weekend I had a whole bunch of sales. I've showed you some of them in the previous video, but then I had even more, some really good ones. But before I show them to you, I had a local sale early this morning, so let me show that to you first. All right, so first thing in the morning, the very first local sale of the week is this coffee table. It's a mid-century modern piece I got from Habitat for Humanity Restore in town. It was only $35. The top was kind of scratched up, but I cleaned it up with Old English, and you can barely tell they're there. In the right light, you can see the texture of the scratch, but the actual discoloring is pretty much gone. So it definitely looks a lot better. But anyway, I bought it for $35. I had it listed for $85. Someone offered me $75, so I decided to take it, make a $40 profit. And they are driving from 2 or 3 hours away to come check it out this morning and get it. So they must have been very serious. They mentioned they're going to sand it down and restore it. So they must have really wanted this thing. It's 42 inches by 16, so it's pretty big. Pretty cool table, so hopefully they'll come by and get it real quick because I have a whole bunch of items I got to ship out today. All right, so the lady did show up about 8 o'clock in the morning. She drove 2 or 3 hours to get here. She was only here for about 2 minutes. I brought the table out. She liked it, put it in the back of her SUV, and drove away. So I paid $35. She bought it for $75, so it's a $40 profit, which is about what all the furniture seems to be going for now. At least the ones I've sold in the last couple of weeks is about a $40 profit, so that's interesting. Okay, so that was the local sale. I did have a couple of eBay sales last night, as well as ones I've already showed you in the previous video. But here's one that went last night. This is a St. Louis Cardinals jersey. It's in pretty good shape. Found it at Goodwill. I think it was $3.50. I bought this because I bought it when I was first starting to buy things to flip on eBay, and I had also picked up a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey for $3.50. It sold for like $39.95, somewhere around there, almost $40. And anyway, I thought, hey, awesome, another jersey. I'll just buy that. It's worth money. Well, I should have looked into it because apparently the Penguins did really well last year. I think won a championship or something, and no one cares about the Cardinals right now. So, at least from what I understand. So, I had this all kinds of prices, like $20, $30, something like that. Anyway, I eventually dropped it down to $14 just to get rid of this thing, and it sold. So, once it's all said and done, I'll make a few dollars on it and get rid of it, but that's okay. I just want to be done with it. Okay, the second item that sold is this. It's already boxed up, but this is that Lighthouse latch hook kit I bought. I think it was at Goodwill a few videos back. I paid $3. I listed it for $29.95, and it sold for full price. So that was a pretty cool sale. Also, all right, I have it sort of boxed up. I got to tape it up and all that kind of stuff. But I just showed it in a somewhat recent video previously. This is that Capitel hearing impaired phone. It has a really loud ringer. The actual phone speaker is really loud, and it can display text so they can read. It had a power cable but did not have the phone or the internet cable, so I bought them separate. At Goodwill, the phone was $3, the 2 cables together were $1, so I have $4 total in it. I listed it up there with all the rest at $44.95 with free shipping, and it sold. So that's a really good turnaround on that. Okay, the last sale from yesterday is the BOSE system. I was very happy about this. Okay, so I picked it up a while back at Goodwill. It was $100. I didn't even know what it was when I first saw it on the rack. They had it kind of backwards and all that. Then I saw BOSE, so then I just happened to look it up on eBay, and man, oh man, this thing was going for good money. The ones I saw were selling for about $325 plus shipping, or like $375 free shipping, somewhere around there, kind of in the mid threes, maybe a little bit upper threes. So I knew at $100 this would probably be a good buy. Just hopefully it worked. But Goodwill has a 7-day return policy on things like this. So if it didn't work, I could have brought it back and got my money back. Well, I tested it. It sounds good. It works well. Even had some CDs in there that I'm just going to leave. So CDs I don't really care about. Okay, so I looked it up, and when I got around to listing it, I could actually put it a lot higher. So I listed it at $485. There were actually some selling for in the $4s. Okay, so at $485, I got a best offer for $475. So I took it. So that is a minus $100, that is a $375 profit. That is with free shipping because I was way up at the top end. So with shipping and with fees, I think it will probably knock me down to somewhere around a $300 profit. So that was a really awesome find. Possibly my highest profit item I've sold so far, even locally. I've had a few that were close to it. I think this one beats it by a few dollars. So anyway, That was really awesome. Now also, while I'm thinking of it, there's a couple of things. I think it was in the last video that I want to explain. This little truck I picked up at Habitat for Humanity. It was $8. And anyway, I looked these up and one sold. I don't think it was in quite as good of condition, and it went for $79.99. And anyway, I forgot to mention what it's called. It's called the Carolina Crusher. It's made by Gloob. Apparently the body, the frame is exactly the same as the truck they called the Animal from 1984 that had the claws coming out of the tires. So they just updated it a few years later, and it's called the Carolina Crusher. So I didn't mention that. Okay, also another thing. I was bummed out that this ended up not being that good of a deal. So I mentioned this in the last video. I paid $7 at Habitat for Humanity Restore. This is the Microsoft Flight Simulator from 1996, brand new sealed. It even says, you know, the Walmart tag, it was $50 new. So I quickly looked up the sold comps and I didn't find anything, but I did see as like an expansion pack or something that worked with this, I think, and it sold for like $36.99, somewhere around there, 30 something. So I thought, well, hey, if this is the, you know, the main program that goes with it, maybe I could get way more out of this thing. I could like name my price, you know, $50, $60, $70, $80. Well, I did more research when I got home after I shot the video, and this thing is probably not going to go for that. So there are actually quite a few listed, and some of them are only $10 plus a little shipping. Some are like 15, 20, 25, somewhere around there. So I don't think it's going to go for a lot. It'll probably end up being like in the 20s, something like that. So after paying $7 on it, it's not going to be that good of a return. Now I could be surprised and maybe it'll go for way more. I could ask for more and just wait for someone to pay for it, but I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's going to be that, you know, $75, $100 that I thought it could maybe be. But oh well, it's still a half decent return. And then one more item I showed several videos back. It was a Scholastic name game tile thing. It was brand new. It was only $3 at Salvation Army. When I looked them up, I even showed it in the video on my phone. People had them currently listed for like $96 up to $132.99 or something like that. And that seemed like an absolute home run. But I hadn't found any sold. That should have told me something. I should not have looked at just the listing prices, because that doesn't mean anything. I always look at solds. So I decided to do a little Google research, and on the actual Scholastic website you can buy them, and they're only like $55 new. So this one, it's new, but the packaging, the plastic wrap is a little bit torn on it. So on eBay it will probably end up going for like maybe $45, $50. So it's still a good return, but not as high as I thought. But it still will end up meeting my criteria of like $30 and above. So it's not too bad. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video for now so I can get all this stuff packed up. I mean, I really got to pack this thing up carefully because I don't want it getting messed up on the way out. And anyway, if any other sales happen later today or the next day or two, I'll try to throw them in the video. Okay, overnight I had another sale. It's this right here. This is a brand new in the box BOSE sound dock and SoundLink car charger cable. And I got this, I believe it was at Goodwill. It was $9. It was a little bit pricey, but I looked it up and they did sell really well. So I decided to grab it anyway, even though it doesn't quite meet the money, you know, ROI that I'm looking for on most of my items. But anyway, it did sell overnight, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this boxed up and shipped out because a storm is brewing, and I don't want to be out there if it starts hailing or lightning or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this real quick. But if any more sales happen later today or tomorrow or whatever, I'll go ahead and throw them in the video as well. Alright, so here is that ugly dresser I picked up at Salvation Army for $25 last week. I figured I could probably double my money on it and sell it for about $50 or $55. It's just kind of outdated looking, and the finish is not very good. It's scratched up and chipped up, so it'd have to either be refinished or repainted, which I personally think would look better. So I just listed it as, you know, can be used as is, built real nice, would look awesome repainted, and put it locally for $65 so that I had a little wiggle room to get my about 50 or 55 where I thought it would probably actually sell. Well, I had several people asking about it, and they were all offering real low, like 30, 40, so I just kept holding out. Well, today someone asked about it. The lady sounds very interested at full price, $65. So I think she's actually on her way. So if she shows up in the next half hour or so, I'll be able to sell it for the full $65. That'd be a really nice profit on this thing. All right, so that lady bought the dresser for the full asking price, $65. So that was a really nice profit on that, $40. So I went ahead and did some thrifting today to see if I could find anything, and I found a couple of cool things. So at Habitat for Humanity, found these electronics. First one here is a Panasonic kind of stereo system, the SA-AK66. Has 5 speakers, plays cassettes, plays CD, has the remote, has the power cord. Says everything works, $60. It was pretty expensive, but they did say it all works. I will double check that, but if it does, I think I can double my money on this locally. Now on eBay, they were selling for around about double, maybe $115, $120 plus shipping, and there was some a little higher. I don't really want to have to ship it if I don't have to. If I can sell it locally, I think at a bare minimum, I think it would go for $100, but I'm gonna go for more than that. So I think I'll probably list it at about 140 and see if I can get 120 and then actually double my money. I'll be fine with that. Okay, they also had 2 of these. These are Sony micro cassette dictator transcriber machines, the M-2020. 2 of them, they were each $5 as is. When I looked these up on eBay, apparently these are supposed to have an AC adapter and a microphone. Well, I only have the actual thing itself. Have no way to test them, but they do look like they're in really nice shape. So I'm just going to sell them as is, untested. I might have to consider it parts or repair. I'm not sure. I looked them up. They were a little all over the place. There were some selling that were complete. I mean, the prices were just everywhere, but the ones that were like this, that did not have the mic, did not have the AC adapter, some of them were like $15, $20 plus shipping. I saw another one that sold actually somewhat recently for $39 with free shipping. Well, I have 2 of them. So I'm going to try to shoot for as high as I can, maybe $50 to $60, something like that. Maybe 50 plus shipping or 55 plus shipping. We'll see if that happens or not. So I only have 10 in it. That would be a pretty good return. I'm considering these as one unit. I'll probably just sell them together, and maybe someone out there wants them. Now I also went to Goodwill and Salvation Army, and I picked up a few things, but let me show those to you inside. Alright, so when I left Habitat for Humanity Restore with the stereo and the transcribers, I went to Goodwill because it was close by. I found a few things. I also passed on some other stuff. But the one thing I found there, the very first thing, was this Conair big curlers, big giant hot rollers for hair. It was only $3. That's the main reason I got it. If it was more than that, I would have passed because the profit is not really there. But I've been selling these pretty well around this time of year. You got to think like prom is coming up, wedding season's going to be starting up. There's people doing cheerleading contests or beauty pageants, and they buy these old roller sets. I don't know why they don't just buy new ones, but they buy these. And this is still in the box, totally complete. There's only $3. The comps were selling, so they were all selling. It's not quite for the money I really like to get, but I don't know. I just couldn't pass because I sell these really well. So they're going between $20 and $25 with shipping. There's only one I saw currently available right now. They were only asking $18.95, but they were asking about $10 shipping. So really they're asking like $28, $29, somewhere around there. I will probably list mine at $24.95 plus shipping, and I don't know, it'll probably be $7 or $8 shipping, whoever ends up getting it. And I'll just wait for the other one to sell, and then mine will go next, hopefully. So anyway, I mean, it's not great. I'm trying to get items that will make me about $30 after fees, after shipping, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It just couldn't pass because these seem to do really well, so I went ahead and grabbed it. The other item I found was pretty cool. It's this camera, and the brand is Lomography, Lomography, Lomography. And the way it looks here, I thought it was called the Mini Diana, but apparently it's the Diana Mini. But it's this little tiny black and teal camera, real cool retro looking thing. It's plastic, 35 millimeter. I'm sure, really cool packaging. I'm sure this was kind of a little hipster Christmas gift type thing. Looks like something maybe they would have sold at Target, that type of look. But apparently these are actually fairly legit. And I paid $6, which is maybe a smidge high. But the comps on eBay, they were a little all over the place. Some of them that was just the camera. There was no packaging. This has some instruction manual and some booklets and stuff in there. They were selling only for like $12, $13. But a lot of them were going for about $15 plus. There were some in this condition going for about $38 or $39.99 with free shipping. The new ones were like $59.99. So I want to shoot high. I think I'm going to list mine about $35 with shipping, and we'll see what happens. I might end up getting a little less, but if I could sell it for a little over $30, I'd be pretty good with that. After fees and all that, it's probably only going to end up being like a $23 $3 to $25 profit, which is not quite where I want to be, but I thought this was pretty cool, and it's still not bad. It's better than like $8 profit. So I left there and I went to Salvation Army. They had a table and chair set there. It had 2 extension leaves. It had 4 chairs. It was not the tabletop was not real wood, but it was not too scratched up. It was definitely ugly, and the seats on the chairs were wrapped in cloth, and they were just disgusting. And they were asking $50 for it. So I was really considering it. If it was only $25, $30, I would have definitely bought it and just flipped it real quick for like $70, $80. But I don't know, for $50 to really make it worth my while, I would have to try to ask like $100 to $150, and I just don't know if it was sold for there. So I'd hate to have brought that thing home by myself, you know, pulled it all out, cleaned it up, and then only make, you know, $20, $30. I just don't know if it's quite worth it, so I passed. So I did find a couple things that'd be really easy to ship though. So this is 3M high density diskettes, pack of 25, brand new sealed. It was only $2.50. I looked these up. They're a little all over the place, but they were going somewhere between $25 and $35 with shipping. Currently, the ones listed are all like $35 plus, but the ones that actually sold were going for about $27 with free shipping. So they're kind of all over. So I want to just go high and then hold and see if I can get at least like $30 plus shipping. And I don't know. I guess that'd be all right. For $2.50, it's not bad. Okay, then I was walking around to check out the shoe section. There we go. And my Salvation Army is just really scuzzy and trashy, but sometimes they have decent stuff, and they had these. So these looked like they're in pretty good condition. A little bit of wear, but not crazy. These are Floor Shine Imperial shoes. There is a number in there, 645663. I looked that up. I couldn't really find any total matches to these. So then I just did a completed search on eBay for Floor Shine Imperial Wingtip Black. And I did find some that looked very similar to these. I think they were the same. And there was one pair that had sold for like 92 something. And then there was a pair that looked just like these listed for, I think, $59.99 with free shipping. So I'm thinking at a bare minimum, maybe these will be like $50. I mean, they could be a total bomb and they're like $20 or $30, which would not be bad. But if I could get 50 or 60 out of them, that would be awesome. But who knows? Maybe they'll go for way more. Maybe they really are $70 or $80 or $90. So I want to clean them up, make them look as good as I can to try to get that money out of them, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll end up putting them at like $79.99 with best offer, and then end up getting, you know, 60 something out of them. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, another cool item. I love finding these because they sell really well, and I was surprised I found one at Salvation Army. This is a vintage Levi's trucker jacket, regular, you know, Levi's denim jacket. Kind of a weird blue, kind of the color of old man jeans, denim blue color, and it has some really cool distressing on it. So it's not, you can tell it hasn't been washed a whole bunch where it just loses all its color, but it's got some cool distressing. You know, all the yellowing up here, and then kind of at the armpit where it was moving, you know, and then like around the sleeve. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely been worn. I looked this up, and what I did is I searched Levi's jacket and then the model number here, 705050217, and it says size 44. Now that's kind of weird because this sure looks really small to me. So I think that was the sizing way back in the day. I think this is a vintage jacket. It's not the Big E, which I think are like from the 60s that sell for way more money. There were some that looked identical to this, even had the same number, but they were called the Big E, which is this tag here. The E would be an uppercase, and they were selling for like $100. But this one is lowercase, which makes me think, based on other ones I saw in there, I think it might be from the 70s or maybe 80s or something like that. So it was only $5, so it's going to be a good deal no matter what. But they were a little all over the place. I think I can get realistically somewhere between $45 and $60 out of it. And there was one that did sell for about $75, and then like I said, the ones with the biggies were like $90 or $100 or $120. They were way higher. But I think this will probably end up going for like 50 something, maybe 55 or 60. I'll try to go as high as I can and see what happens. But it is in good shape, so I think I can't ask a lot for it. So that's pretty cool. I like finding Levi's jackets. They're timeless. They always sell well. And you can get almost new price. I just went to a Levi's denim, I guess it was an outlet, but they're brand new jackets for $70, and I sold one like this that was a little bit lighter blue. I think I had it in the video. It even had a stain, and it sold for $70. So they are pretty good sellers. Okay, I had 2 sales overnight. Let me show them to you real quick. First one is this Pearl Snap shirt. The brand is Salt Valley Western. It's a large. I was impressed when I found it at Goodwill. I paid $3.50. I really thought it was going to have good value, be like in the upper 20s, which to me is a pretty good selling shirt. But it didn't go for that, so I ended up just dropping the price when I lowered all my clothing, trying to get rid of it because I don't really care about it that much anymore. And I had it at $18.95, and it ended up selling for a best offer of $15. So it's not going to be a very good profit, but I got rid of it. I'll make some money off of it, a little under $10 probably, and I'll be okay with that. Okay, the other cool sale you've probably been staring at the whole time, it's right here. It's the Big Mouth Billy Bass in the box. I got this, I believe it was at Goodwill. It was $6, which was a little high, but they do sell pretty well. Had some damage on the box, but it does work. I tested it. He moves, his mouth moves, but I think his mouth, instead of mouthing the words, it just kind of opens and then closes when he's not talking. So it's not quite right. So I was really hoping I could get in the upper 50s, maybe close to $60, but I got $49.99 out of it, which is still pretty good. And anyway, I'll send that off today. I don't know why people still buy these. That's like probably double what it was when it was brand new back in like 1999 or 2000. And the only thing I can think of, and I don't know if it's the main reason, but my wife told me she read something about people are hooking these up to their Google Home or their, what is it, the Amazon Alexa or whatever. So when you ask it a question, somehow they hook it up so whenever Alexa answers, it's Big Mouth Billy Bass mouth moves as it talks or something like that. So I don't know if that's the main reason or what, but it did sell and I got $50 out of it, which is pretty good. So anyway, that is the flips and finds of the week so far. I'm going to go ahead and call this a video right now because tomorrow is Friday and there is a neighborhood garage sale that I've gone to before that's really good. So I'm sure I'm going to find some awesome stuff and I can't add it to this video. And I've been there before and bought tons and tons of stuff. So I plan to spend a bunch of money tomorrow if I can and just get all kinds of stuff and really try to get a ton of flips going. So anyway, if you like these videos, go ahead and give this one a thumbs up if you liked it. And leave a comment what you thought. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. The channel seems to be growing pretty well. And I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed and have been leaving some comments and things like that. So anyway, thanks for checking it out.